Freelance writers and copywriters come in all stripes and sizes. We have different backgrounds, different work experiences, and different motivations for doing the work we do. But one thing the vast majority of us have in common is a distaste for, or in some cases, outright fear of, networking, which is a problem, given that networking, at least when done well, can be a fruitful way of finding new clients. But in reality, many freelancers would prefer to have their wisdom teeth pulled out than to attend another networking event. Why do so many of us like networking? Well, I think there's two main reasons. First is that the whole process feels uncomfortable and takes a lot of effort. I mean, you have to first identify which organizations to target, right? Then you have to research their events, dress up, find your business cards, rehearse your elevator pitch, and get to the venue. And most importantly, you have to summon the courage to put yourself out there. All these things can be exhausting. Second reason is that even with your best efforts, there is simply no guarantee you'll make any helpful connections at a networking event. Now, fortunately, there's a strategy out there you can employ that will alleviate your feelings of discomfort and help you get better results from your networking. And that strategy is to take on a designated role. I first came across the term designated role in the work of marketing coach Marcia Yutkin. And essentially, it means networking by getting involved in an organization. And here, when I say getting involved, that means much more than just showing up for meetings and events. So taking on a designated role essentially means volunteering in a defined capacity. It could be sitting on a committee or joining a board, or it could be setting up or helping to set up an event or greeting attendees, coordinating speakers, or even acting as an MC. Basically, it's volunteering in a meaningful way and in a set role. This is less nerve-wracking because when you have a designated role, you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be the greeter or the organizer or the planner. Somehow, when you're supposed to be there in that role, that just takes away most of the pressure and anxiety of being at the event. So I was actually practicing this for several years before I even knew what it was called. And I started doing it when I became a member of the Technology Association of Georgia's Marketing Society Board. And as part of that role, I was volunteering as chair and advisor to the annual Tech Marketing Awards over several years. Like many of you, I've never really enjoyed or been particularly good at working a room. But once I had that designated role with this organization, I had a new reason for being there. I wasn't just there to collect business cards, to make small talk over bagels. I had a job to do. I had a role. For me, this change totally shifted the dynamics of the room. It gave me a purpose and put me at ease. Now, I still got to meet people and build relationships, of course, but this became a byproduct of my designated role rather than my primary objective. I was there to greet. I was the one helping put together that particular event, right? I was there helping set things up. I was there helping clean up afterwards. And people could sense that I was giving my time out of a heartfelt desire to make a real difference, not out of desire to promote my business. And as a result, the connections I made were stronger and more authentic. In fact, many of the connections were from fellow volunteers, other people with designated roles who had influence, who could introduce me to people, who could potentially hire me. And because I had chosen this organization strategically, because high tech is my target market, I ended up working with peers who, again, could potentially hire me, refer me to others. And in fact, this role helped me land a significant amount of work, both directly and indirectly. Frankly, you can't expect to really get to know prospects over coffee and donuts at the occasional meet and greet. If you truly want to develop meaningful relationships, and if you want to do it in a way that's more comfortable, more sustainable, my suggestion, find an organization in your target market and look for a designated role you can fill. This has been Ed Gandia with High Income Business Writing. To get more actionable tips and strategies for how to earn more in less time doing work you love for better clients, visit b2blauncher.com.